Today's Business Plus Talent topic has to do with building business sustainability through career portfolios and attention to new career pathways for the talent that you bring into your enterprise. Today, I'm joined with my friend and colleague, Colin Ruston, who's been working with me for many, many years in the talent management field. And one of the things that we've observed over the years of the work that we've been doing through our coaching of individuals, individual contributors, managers, or leaders at the top of an operation, is that the whole idea of a career path has changed. The notion that people want to build a portfolio of experiences is the orientation. It used to be that the resume had a predictable movement through particular job with increasing levels of responsibility. And increasingly, what people are saying is, I'm more interested in a portfolio of experiences and opportunities to grow than I am necessarily in some sort of highly constrained career path that takes me from walking in as a bookkeeper and ending up as the CFO. So good to have you with us today, Colin.
Thank you, Roger. It's good to be with you. So may I ask you this first question? Can you tell me the conversations that you are hearing about and engage in around creating career portfolios?
As we look at the economic shifts that have been occurring in the last 10 years, and most certainly accelerated during the COVID pandemic, we see that the number of jobs that are being created are phenomenal. They're expected to be 160 million people actively pursuing different kinds of work in the next year. And that's a lot of people who are either making decisions about, am I going to stay in the current job? If so, what is it about that job that I find useful and meaningful? To what are other opportunities that I might pursue inside of the organization I'm in or somewhere else. The message seems to be, from data collected as you talk to the 20-somethings and 30-somethings, is that their fascination in having the opportunity to use their talent is using their talent to solve particular problems. Using the opportunities that organizations can provide to help them build their strengths and build their portfolio of skills for a path they create. Instead of the organization saying, here's the pathway to, what we're seeing is a generation of individuals who are saying, I'm going to narrate my career path and their particular experiences I want to have in order to have that narration come true. And of course, that leads to all kinds of questions about the talent management system that you have in place.
So how then does this affect talent-based issues?
When you have a perspective that says, I want to look at the talent management system of the whole in an enterprise, you realize you need to prioritize the roles and practices at each level of the operation that will, in fact, create an environment where people can raise their hand and say, hey, look, I've been doing this particular challenge. I need another challenge. I need another sort of activity that will help me feel as though I'm growing and learning while I'm in the employment of a particular operation. Well, a talent management system that's in place has threaded through it the notion that having a growth mindset, having a perspective that development is assumed to be an important part of the role, whether you're leading or managing, and even as an individual contributor, the assumption that you'll be raising your hand to say, I need some other challenges in order to be particularly effective in using the skills that I bring to the table. Another particular practice that we know is important in a whole talent management environment is building the kind of skills that are necessary for resilience. We've seen in the last 5 years the rapid growth of conversation and practices related to resilience and mindfulness in organizations, such that it's become a part of the expectation that we want to help you build the resilience necessary to help the organization be agile and respond to the challenges that it faces.
So you're telling us there exist things that we can do at the same time. Who is best to do those things is a question I have, as well as, and more specifically, what are the behaviors essential for this kind of success?
The question leads naturally to, at least in my mind, us thinking about what are the science-based principles and particular roles and practices that will enable you to create an organization where there is in fact going to be the opportunity to build the career portfolio that employees want to build. And that means that you are going to prioritize the notion that at the top, you are very focused on a role of building for the future, building the talent and capabilities for the future. When you're a manager, you are very busily engaged in constantly evaluating where are we with our talent and how is that talent deployed, and are we using that talent in the most productive way, which is going to require a manager to be pretty active in taking a look at how the talent they have is working, and do we need to make some shifts, and do we need to find out what is it people most need in order to feel that their skills are being used effectively. And of course, at the individual contributor level, when we build into the idea that being a good citizen in this enterprise means that you raise your hand and you say, look, I enjoy what I'm doing here. I've mastered this, and I really want to have an opportunity to work in some other ways to help as I'm building my career path going forward. And a whole talent management system that's based on the kinds of principles that I'm suggesting can make all the difference. So we know that there are roles and practices at each level of organizational life that in fact can be brought into an operation to enable that organization to masterfully help employees develop the career portfolios they need for the future.